the Meiji Restoration.
Hello, I'm Grishan Bajwa.
And I'm Zihao Lin, and today we'll be exploring one of history's most dramatic transformations, the Meiji Restoration. The Meiji Restoration overthrew the Tokugawa shogunate and transformed Japan by centralizing power, modernizing its economy, and strengthening the nation against Western powers. But first, what was Japan like before? For over 2 centuries, Japan operated under a feudal system dominated by the samurai class. Though an emperor existed, real power belonged to the shogunate. Under the Tokugawa shoguns, society was strictly divided. Samurai served powerful lords called daimyo.
Japan maintained a policy of national isolation, limiting foreign trade to preserve stability and culture. Everything changed in 1835 when an American naval commander, Matthew C. Perry, arrived in Japan with a fleet of steam-powered warships known as the Black Ships, demanding that Japan open its ports for foreign trade. The arrival of Perry's ships shocked the Japanese government and population. Their steam engines, cannons, and dark smoke demonstrated a growing population. Their steam engines, cannons, and dark smoke demonstrated a growing technological power of the Western nations.
Japan's leaders quickly realized their military was not strong enough to resist these foreign demands. As a result, the Tokugawa government agreed to sign several treaties with Western countries, including the Treaty of Kamogawa in 1854. These agreements became known as unequal treaties because they heavily favored foreign nations. Western citizens in Japan were granted special legal privileges, and Japan had limited control over its own tariffs and trade policies. Many Japanese citizens saw these treaties as humiliating and believed the shogunate had failed to defend the nation.
Samurai, scholars, and political leaders began criticizing the Tokugawa government, arguing it had become weak and corrupt. Across the country, political tension continued to grow. Some groups began calling it the removal of the shogunate entirely. A powerful political movement adopted the slogan, "Revere the Emperor, expel the barbarians," arguing that Japan should restore political authority to the emperor. By the late 1860s, tension between the Tokugawa loyalists and the reformers had reached a breaking point. In 1868, Japan erupted into a civil war called the Boshin War.
Powerful domains including Satsuma and Choshu united to challenge the Tokugawa government. While samurai still played a key role in the fighting, the war revealed the growing power of the modern technology soldiers, now wielded rifles, artillery, and Western-style tactics. The conflict stood at a crossroads between traditional samurai warfare and modern industrial combat. In the end, the shogunate couldn't hold on. The final Tokugawa shogun, Tokugawa Yoshinobu, was forced to step down, and with that, over 250 years of shogunate rule came to the end. This is where Emperor Meiji stepped in, only 15 years old at that time. Emperor Meiji, born Bushihito, became the symbol of a new Japan. He didn't just take the throne, he took back the power that had been stripped from the imperial family for centuries.
This is how the fight kinda went. Emperor Meiji, he's coming down. He's coming. Oh. Emperor Meiji, he's gonna kick. He's gonna do it. Oh, and when Emperor Meiji wins a revelation. Let's go. Moving the capital from Kyoto to Tokyo, he made it clear that Japan was entering a bold new era. Under his leadership, all the old feudal structures were dismantled, Western ideas were embraced, and Japan began its rapid transformation into a modern world power. The emperor who had once been a figurehead was now the face of a revolution.
Political reform. After the restoration of imperial rule, Japan's leaders began a series of major reforms designed to modernize the country. One of the first steps was the announcement of the Charter Oath in 1868. This document outlined important principles for the new government, including political unity and openness to learning from other nations. Over time, Japan replaced its feudal political structure with a centralized national government. In 1889, the Meiji Constitution established a constitutional monarchy, combining imperial leadership with modern political institutions.
Military reform. The government also transformed Japan's military system. For centuries, the samurai had served as the country's warrior class, while these new leaders believed that modern nation needed a national army than a smaller group of elite warriors. In 1873, Japan introduced a universal training conscription, requiring all young men to serve in the military. The new army adopted Western training methods, modern weapons, and standardized uniforms. Within a few decades, Japan had developed one of the strongest, most modern militaries in Asia.
Economic reform. Industrial development became another major focus of the new government. Railroads were constructed to connect cities and improve transportation across the country. Factories began producing textiles, machinery, and manufactured goods on a large scale. Shipyards expanded as Japan built a modern navy capable of protecting its growing economic and political interests. The government also created modern banks and financial institutions to support investment and industrial growth. These economic reforms helped transform Japan into an industrial nation.
Education reform. Education was also dramatically reformed. The government established a national school system designed to educate citizens for a modern society. Students studied subjects such as science, mathematics, engineering, and modern political ideas alongside traditional Japanese studies. Japanese also sent students and the government officials abroad to learn about Western technology and government systems. At the same time, foreign experts were invited to Japan to teach engineering, medicine, military science, and other specialized fields. These reforms helped Japan rapidly absorb knowledge from around the world.
Despite these reforms, not everyone supported the rapid changes. Many former samurai were unhappy about losing their traditional status and privileges. In 1877, this tension erupted into the Satsuma Rebellion, a major uprising against the new government. The rebellion was led by the famous samurai Sagyo Takamori, who had once supported the restoration but later opposed the moderation politics. However, the rebellion was eventually defeated by Japan's modern conscript army. With a stronger government, military, and economy, Japan soon began expanding its influence beyond its borders. In 1894, Japan defeated China in the First Sino-Japanese War, gaining territory and international recognition. In 1905, Japan shocked the world again by defeating Russia in the Russo-Japanese War, proving that Japan had become a major global power.
Only in a few decades, Japan experienced one of the most dramatic transformations in modern history. A society once dominated by samurai and feudal lords that became a modern city built on industry, education, and centralized governments. Agricultural villages gradually gave way to expanding cities and industrial centers. Under the leadership of Emperor Meiji, Japan successfully adapted to the challenges of a rapidly expanding world. The Meiji Restoration reshaped Japan politically, economically, and socially. Its legacy continues to influence Japan today and remains one of the most remarkable examples of rapid modernization in world history.